Welcome to another edition of the Dirty South Fantasy Football Podcast. Yours truly, Eric Lee, and my man.
And I am Lorenzo Ice-T Thomas. That's right. Dirty South Fantasy Football is on.
Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. I'm good now.
Yes. Got a little feedback there. Hold on. Let me get rid of that.
Got a little feedback?
Yeah. I'm good.
Good stuff. Well,
I was actually checking us out on YouTube and Twitch and
we worldwide all over the place.
Yes, and Twitter. That's what it was. So
good stuff. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey man, it's about to go down.
Yes.
NFL.
Thursday night
Football.
I'm ready for it, man.
Oh, I'm ready for it. I am so ready for it. Ready for the football season to start. And of course, we're ready for fantasy football because we've got a bunch of fantasy teams going on. People out there want to know who to start, who to sit. In addition to that, we've got a lot to talk about, man. The new season is about to kick off. Fantasy football is about to kick off. You actually went through a draft last night. We get a chance to talk about that, in comparison to go with a dynasty league versus a repeat or redraft league.
League, right.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely, man. So let's get right into it, man. You started a redraft league last night. How was it?
It was quite interesting, I will say, to say the least. With this league on Yahoo, it's a 14-team league where we have a 16-team league. And you don't know your draft position until 30 minutes before the draft. So it's very important for you to do quite a few mock drafts from different positions. So I already did a draft with the number one position, which was in our league. And then I did a couple of mock drafts in the middle around 7. And I had just the night before done, I conducted maybe 3 or 4 mock drafts in the 11th and 12th position. So I already had a little strategy of which running backs and wide receivers I wanted to take. The only question was, did I want to reach with, say, a Josh Allen in the first round or the second round? So I already knew which backs I didn't want because I had practiced and did a few mock drafts. And so basically when it came up to that position, I already knew, had my players in queue, knew who I wanted to go for. I had a full understanding of who was working in a split backfield and who's going to be the standalone back. So I had all of that. So I actually went with Stephon Diggs with the number 1 pick at number 12, came back around and got Swift in the next, coming around. I got Swift. So basically he's the lone back in Detroit.
Right.
Diggs is the number 1 wide receiver in Buffalo with Josh Allen throwing him the ball. And I can't remember exactly what I did coming around. Oh, with the 3rd pick, I picked Kyle Pitts. So I got Kyle Pitts at number 3.
Hey, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
There. Yeah. And then
there we go. Yeah, it's a good pick.
I can't remember. I think I got I think I went with Brandon Cooks coming around because Houston's going to be behind. They're going to be throwing the ball a great deal. And then because of most of the elite quarterbacks were gone in the 5th round, I went and grabbed Pat Mahomes. So, when I look back at, when my draft grade came out, I had an A. So I was happy with that.
All right. So you're happy with it.
Yes.
So,
I was. Yes.
So you were down at 12?
I was number 12 out of 14.
12 out of 14.
Yeah. But the dynasty league that we have, where we have 22 positions and then 5 on the taxi squad, I was so prepared for any and everything, and especially with the rookies, because we're able to put players on our taxi squad.
Right.
I was so familiar with, when do I want to reach for a Dobbs or a who's the other, the Brooks, Traylon Brooks out of who's at the Titans. The wide receiver in Green Bay. So most of those rookies, where does Damian Pierce go? Because he moved up once they cut Marlon Mack. So those people, those players, those rookies who are going to play a prominent role on their teams were basically, if I had not done the dynasty draft, I wouldn't know or be as prepared knowing the information and how much value they had and when to pick them and when not to reach.
Well, I got a situation like that tomorrow. We got another draft a day before the day before the NFL starts.
Right.
We do it every year. We don't know who's going to be in what position. 30 minutes before the draft, we'll all find out. So everybody's scrambling, trying to get their information right. But the cool thing about it is this will be my 3rd draft for actually my 4th draft. So yeah, I'm in 4 leagues. Yeah,
Right.
I got
Wow.
way too much time on my hands.
Yeah.
Way too much time on my hands.
But E, when you're prepared,
It's okay.
and
It's cool.
you already know who you want to target, so it's not strenuous. You're not pulling out your hair, even though you and I don't have a whole lot of it at this point in our lives. But it's simple. You're like, okay, this is who I don't want, and these are the players that I do want.
Right. It's crazy because I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. So
Right.
I'm ready for it. I can't divulge my strategy because some of the players or the league owners are probably chiming into the podcast because they say, well, we see you. I said, yeah, okay, I won't talk a whole lot about it. But strategy is strategy. Am I going with the 2 running backs, or will I go out and get the superhero quarterback first? You never know what I'll do.
Well, because I am not drafting in that particular league, I would say it's the dead zone that concerns me when it comes to the running backs. That those rounds 3 through 6? Really 3 through 6.
3 through 6.
Yeah, those rounds right there for running backs, I call that the dead zone. There are wide receivers you can select during those rounds where they will score just as much as those running backs, and there's so many question marks there. And your number 2 running back, if you get you get yourself a good running back in the first round, or maybe in the early part of the second round, you can wait later on in the draft to get that number 2 running back. So just stack with the wide receivers. Boom, 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 boom. If you're able to get one of those top tight ends, that is just as good. If you get a Kyle Pitts or a Travis Kelce or an Andrews or even a Kittle, one of those tight ends, you get those, they're just as good as a wide receiver. And then later on at the bottom of the draft, you can stack. As you can see in our league, I'm just stacking backs.
Right.
Someone, all I need is to fill that number 2 position because I got Jonathan Taylor. So all I got to do is find a strong number 2. And if I can find that back that's not splitting carries, then I'm good for the rest of the season.
You're solid for the season.
Exactly.
Or you'll be drafting another running back next year.
Right. Well, in the fantasy, yeah, but then you never know. In the redrafts, you may be able to find someone on the waiver wire, because you're not the league that I'm in. It's a 14-team league, and I'm looking at the guys that are on the sidelines. I'm like, man, they would be scooped up real quick in our league.
Okay, well, if you're out there and about watching us and you do fantasy football, don't forget, drop us a chat. We'd love to talk to you. Matter of fact, we've got somebody, Lorenzo, that's actually on the waiting list for our league. He called me up the other day and said, hey, man, I saw you and Lorenzo. Y'all got another space? Frankie D.
Oh, yes. I got a picture that I got to send Frankie D. I just saw a picture of me and him. Oh, I think it was with Keith Sweat.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was Keith Sweat back in the day when we were at the Hampton Coliseum. I was just looking at that picture and I was like, yeah, I got to get it to Frankie D. Yeah, what's up, Frankie D? Hope you're watching.
Yeah, Frankie said if anybody orphans the team, he'll be there. He says he's been beating everybody in every league, but you always hear that from everybody.
Exactly, so, right. We even say that.
Oh, yeah, I know. You know how many championships I got on my wall.
Right. Well, I can pull up my Yahoo status and just see that I am platinum, or I'll pull it up and I'll show it. I'll show it shortly once I get a chance, once I find it.
Special shout out to my cuz Madeline. She's checking us out. I see you, cuz. Thanks for checking in. Oh, it looks like we got somebody in the house.
Okay.
Looks like one of our esteemed owners had just popped in wearing all of the shenanigans back
there. You see it.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God.
All that cowboy stuff.
I came prepared.
I see you prepared.
Right. I came prepared.
Mo, a.k.a. Mo Henny, in the house. How you doing?
Yes. I'm doing good. A little tired, but this heat wave is killing us out here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. She West Coast. She out there in L.A. doing her thing. How'd you become a Cowboy fan before we get into this fantasy football stuff?
Okay, so for whatever reason, growing up, I just never liked anything about the Rams or the Raiders. And I might be aging myself a little bit, but back in the 70s when I was growing up, they had a made-for-TV movie about the cheerleaders that starred Jane Seymour. And I really liked that movie. Growing up, kept watching it over and over. So when I started getting into football, correct. So when I started watching football in my early 20s on my own, no help. I just naturally I just gravitated to the Cowboys, and that was it. Plus, Troy Aikman is from out here, so
Okay.
Oh, he played for
it
UCLA,
wasn't that
didn't
hard.
Wasn't that hard?
He-
Now,
Yeah, and believe it or not, I am not a UCLA fan either. I'm a Trojan fan.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I know.
Well,
I'm so
Lo,
opposite.
I got a chance to talk to Mo and say, look, hey, we got this fantasy football league we're putting together. It's a dynasty. I don't care what it is. I'm coming to play. I done beat everybody and everywhere. I was like, okay,
Right.
Mo, we're gonna find out. So, Mo, we just pulled up the screen from the draft. Your first pick was Dak Prescott. I wonder why.
You picked Dak in the first round?
She picked Dak in the first round.
Oh, wow.
I did?
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
you
didn't.
did. I'm sitting there looking at you. Your first pick was Dak Prescott.
Okay, wait.
Uh-oh.
Okay, see, here's the thing.
What happened?
I never played a dynasty league before.
Okay.
So my thought process is, when it comes to the quarterback position, I want a quarterback that's gonna give me that's gonna weaponize himself two ways, with his hands and with his feet.
Okay.
So I said, with this amount of teams and this many rounds, I said, let me just go ahead and do it. Let me just pull the trigger and do it. So that was my thought process at the time.
Okay. But you're pretty solid. You're pretty solid when you came back with Debo and Connor. So I see what you did. We know what you're doing.
Huh? Well, I ain't making no secret. Everybody can see what you drafted, and then towards the end, when we went from 6 hours to 4 hours, that started coming up a little bit fast. And so I missed making a couple of my picks, because it's a couple of those guys I never would have thought to draft them, and it quickly was dropped as soon as I got the chance to. So
well, you Jerry Jones, so you heavy into it. Well, let's talk quickly.
Hey, be careful.
Be careful. Hey man,
hey,
I'm not here to dog.
He's a great owner.
Dog your team.
He's a great owner, a bad GM.
Okay.
Wow.
Enough.
She said it. Well, actually, I got to give you credit, because there's 16 teams in our league. And I think between me, you, and Eric, you're the only one that's more active than anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like when the guy dropped, I can't remember what team dropped him, but they dropped Dameon Pierce. I was like, what? And Nick Bolton? And you jumped you picked up someone off waiver wires yesterday. E?
Oh yeah. So, well, that was pretty slick though. I had one of the guys in the league. He was illegal and he had to drop some players, so he had to drop Lamonte. So as soon as he dropped him, I had to pick him up.
And Mo picked up Bolton. Nick Bolton from Kansas City. He was like, he was top of the waiver wire. And I was like, why are you dropping Dameon Pierce and Nick Bolton? I was like, of all players, those are the last two. And your value, Mo, of your squad went up as soon as you picked up Bolton. He's like in the top 18 top linebackers.
I had my eye on Pierce going in, but someone got to him before I did.
Right.
So every now and then I just get the urge to go look on the waiver wire, and there he was. I said, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
And for those out there that are saying, well, you're talking about defensive players. We are not only a dynasty league, we're IDP, which means individual defensive players. Traditionally, in most leagues, you just draft a defense.
Right.
We actually draft one linebacker, one defensive lineman, and one defensive back. Now, to kind of put that in perspective, a linebacker scores points like running backs. A defensive lineman scores points like a tight end, and a DB scores points like a wide receiver, along with the rest of the offensive players. So we not only draft offensive players, we actually draft defensive players too, just to make it more interesting. This has been a very interesting experience for a lot of folks. How was it for you, Mo?
As you know, I hit you with a lot lot
I was there to answer like a benevolent commissioner should do.
But in terms of just drafting the players, I was fine with that. I just needed to know how to maneuver the lineup as far as like taxi squad and what that meant. You know, I already have my own process that I go through when it comes to drafting. I like receivers, just putting that out there. I like receivers. So if I can go receiver heavy, I will. But this one was a little bit different because it had the dynasty aspect to it. I'm like, okay, whoever I get now, that's who I'm stuck with. So I have to be careful.
Now with that philosophy, receivers, a lot of receivers, most pundits would tell you to stack up on the running backs early on.
No,
That's not what you do.
no,
Okay.
no.
All
I'm
right.
not feeling that because I feel like a lot of teams in recent years have gone to like a running back by committee.
Right.
Mhm.
And I'm just not with that. If I can't get a guy that's the lead back who I know is going to get all the reps or most of the
Right.
reps, then I'm kind of leery, which was my thought process behind drafting James Conner.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
So,
But
Lorenzo, go
Mo,
ahead.
you weren't able to pick up Pierce. Someone else got him, right?
correct.
Okay.
Someone
Okay.
got to him before I did.
Right. 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 You can see on the side the claims, the amount of people who claimed Pierce. So 4 people tried to get him, and there for Nick Bolton, it was you and I. So that tried to get Nick Bolton, but
Chasing Nick.
before you were ahead of me on the waiver wire because I probably was a little too busy early on in the week snatching up some running
Yeah.
backs. You know,
Mo,
so
hey, Lorenzo,
yes.
she can't get off easy, man. She got to be put in. She got to
What?
be put. You got to be put on the hot seat. We got
What's the
6
hot
questions.
seat?
We got 6 questions. We asked you the
God.
questions.
Ooh, you
and
on the hot seat now,
You
girl.
ju-
You on the hot
you
seat
got to
now.
answer the question. I'm gonna give you
Damn.
2. I give you 2 scenarios. You just give me the answer.
Damn.
All right. Hot wings or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper.
Damn.
Okay. Harley or Honda?
Wait, say the first one again.
Harley or Honda?
Oh, Honda.
Damn.
Okay. 7 Up or Sprite?
Sprite.
Damn.
Okay. Kanye or Yeezy?
Neither.
Eddie or Richard?
I can get no last names.
Richard Pryor or
Wow.
Eddie Murphy? My bad.
Oh,
Richard Pryor, Eddie
Richard.
Murphy.
Richard.
That was funny.
You are officially off the hot seat.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
All right.
Lord have mercy.
You are
Uh,
you're official now.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
You are official
Thank
now.
you.
Let's talk about some NFL news, man. Look, there's a guy named Lamar Jackson. Still hadn't signed his contract. Thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Ladies first.
You know what? I really don't have any thoughts one way or the other.
Okay.
I think that when it comes to quarterbacks like Lamar's caliber, and I'll just say persuasion and leave it there.
Okay.
You have teams that have a tendency that will just use and abuse and overwork, but don't want to compensate. So I am all for him getting his money. In terms of his value or what he's worth, I don't know if he's asking for too much or too little. I can't answer that. But
if you own him,
getting your money.
But if you own him as a fantasy player, are you shook right now?
I would never own him, but if I did, but if I did, I would be worried. But that, because you asked that question, that only speaks to not just knowing what a guy can do on the field. you got to know what's going on around him as far as business and off the field. Like when you going into a draft, especially one for money, like you have to know a little bit of something.
Right. Well, if you're out there checking us out, feel free, hit us with a chat in the and we can answer any of your questions during the year. This is what we're going to do. Lorenzo and I host this thing on every Tuesday, right after, of course, the Monday night game, right before waivers come through, and we're going to be able to talk about, stardom or sit 'em, the injury report, things of that nature. So we're really excited about kicking off the league this year. And we've got a cool perspective because we're doing it in the dynasty mode, and this is going to last forever, never, never. For the folks that are out there, our championship trophy, this is our first year, so whoever wins it, the trophy will be named after them, like the Lombardi.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I
So
like that.
Is it going to be the Thomas or is it going to be the Mohini?
Thomas.
It's gonna be named whatever I tell you to put on it.
I like that, Mo. I like that.
I like that, Mo. So are you in any other leagues?
Too many.
Too many? Just like
Too
us.
many.
How many? About how many? 5?
Are we talking about for free or for money?
Just in general.
Just in general? We'll say 10 plus.
Woo!
You keep up with you've drafted 10 times already? Okay, all right.
More than 10.
More than 10? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How much time you putting in our league?
I tell you what, it's been a couple of days since I've been on that wire paying attention what's going on. I'm gonna jump on right after this.
No, keep doing what you do. That's all right.
That's all right.
Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention at all.
I feel like I've drafted a very good team in our league. That's what I feel.
Okay.
And what we have to all consider is the fact that there's 22 roster positions and 5 taxi squad positions, and there's 16 owners. So when you can still look at your lineup and say it's competitive, and it might even be competitive in a 12 or 14 team league, then you really drafted well. We just got to wake up some of the people that, still have an illegal lineup. So
we're gonna get them all straight. So let's talk about Sony Michel. He got a spot. Looks like he's back in action again. Because y'all let him go, right?
Yeah, we let him go because we had 4 running backs that were doing much better than he. However, he did do well. It's just the other guys. I mean, it's all about speed with the Miami Dolphins. So basically, if they've got speed, they want him. And Michel just is not one of those fast backs. And then Miami carries the fullback. So if they need a big back, they got the fullback for that. So Sony Michel, I assume, depending on how Isaiah Spiller does for San Diego, Sony Michel will be the number 2 back in San Diego. One, he's a veteran, and they need that veteran leadership in the backfield. And when you look at Austin Eckler, he does get nicked up quite a bit. So there's some value there with Sony Michel, and that's why I picked him up.
Okay. Well, it's Thursday night is the big game, the Rams versus the Bills. I'm excited about it. I got in my other league, I got Josh Allen as my quarterback. So
you'll be cheering.
Yeah, I want to see what that looks like. I want to see what that looks like.
Right.
I want to see what that looks like.
Now, did you have to reach for Josh Allen?
Actually, yes and no. My first pick was Akers, and he came back around.
Cam Akers?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was my first pick.
Ooh.
It was my first pick. Akers was my first pick. Came back around about it because it went back to. I was last in the draft, and it was back. By the time it got to me,
I hate that.
Yeah. Was there a run on running backs?
Oh yeah, right from the giddy up. I think I picked the first quarterback.
Now Cam is coming off of that ACL, and
he was all right last year, even off of ACL.
Yeah, but you got Henderson back there. That's a problem. That's a split backfield.
Yeah,
and McVay's going to use them as A1 and A1A and 1B.
Yeah.
That's what scares me about their backfield. I think Mo would agree with me. You want someone that's going to be the dominant back in the backfield. So,
how many teams got a dominant back now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple.
Oh, you saw Marlon Mack. He just got cut
and got signed by the Colts.
Yeah. because
No, I'm sorry. That was Philip Lindsay. I'm sorry. I'm confused.
Yeah, you got Derrick Henry. He's going to tote the rock. You've got Swift, DeAndre Swift. He's going to tote the rock.
I got him.
I was going to say Kenyon Drake, but they got a bunch of people back there in Baltimore now.
Yeah, but they got a lot of injuries. Dobbins is hurt. Edwards is hurt. So it's Mike Davis and Kenyon Drake right there.
Yeah.
You know, and Drake, you know, is more explosive than Davis, if I remember. I think so. And Drake will catch some passes out of the backfield. Just depends on who's quarterbacking. What's Lamar Jackson going to do?
Yeah. And see, we're in the full PPR, so running backs that catch the ball out of the backfield are more important. Right. However, if you get a chance to pick up Derrick Henry, pick him up. A lot of people get a little gun shy about him because
the plate in his foot, the plate that he has in his foot.
Man, Julio Jones had a plate in his foot when he first got into the NFL. He had a pretty good career with that plate in his foot.
Oh, well, Julio played wide receiver.
True.
This is a running back. You know, who's coming off an injury. So, you know,
go ahead.
So I'm just leery about the Titans.
Yeah.
And because of the inability of Ryan Tannehill to make things happen, they're going to still rely on Derrick Henry. And will he be able to, carry the load? And Derrick Henry does not catch this fantasy football. So Derrick Henry doesn't catch the ball out of the backfield.
Right.
So you're looking
he was giving you 25 off the bus last year
until he got hurt. So now he's coming back. Right. So that's what I'm just saying. Is he worth the risk taking him in the first round?
Yeah.
Or would you rather just go with a wide receiver that you know?
Well, I know what Mo gonna do.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm with that.
Yeah.
I would go in the first round instead of picking a Derrick Henry. I went with a Diggs and then came back with Swift, who is the main back. Even though he's playing in Detroit, he's going to get so many touches and he catches the ball out of the backfield too. So,
Mo.
I don't think I drafted a single Titan in any league I'm in. I don't think I did.
None at all.
Not on purpose. Nope.
Okay. Did you pick up Zeke in any of your leagues? No Zeke?
I think maybe one. I'm no dummy. I'm not crazy. I'm no dummy.
Mo said, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Right. But I ain't gonna pick him up just to be picking him up.
And there's someone breathing down his neck by the name of Tony Pollard. You know what I mean? So, when you have that in the backfield, it's like, do you want to pick Zeke high?
Yeah.
Those are the questions that you have to.
The thing that I'll say is this. Tony Pollard is a very good back. He's very quick.
Mm-hmm.
He can, because he's faster than Zeke, he can kind of like, shape the defense a little bit faster. He can get to the hole a little faster.
He can get away.
The difference is he's not going to hit the hole as hard as Zeke is, though. They're two entirely different. To me, Zeke is a 3-down back. He's just not fast. We know the shelf life on a running back is about a good 7-8 years. After that, on a downswing. Okay?
28 years old, they're done.
Tony, he's a fast back and he's an explosive back, but he's not every down. He's not a, hit the hole hard kind of back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The one advantage to selecting any players that play in the NFC least is because it's the easiest division. It's the easiest division in football. Go look at strength of schedule. When you look at strength of schedule, all the players that are playing in the NFC least have easy schedules. So there is an advantage of playing with some of those players in the NFC East.
What about the NFC North? The only thing you got out there realistically is Green Bay. Because the Bears ain't gonna give you much. Detroit ain't gonna give you much. Minnesota's
with that Minnesota offense is gonna be potent.
Right, but they're not gonna
play. They're gonna put some boy with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be high. They're gonna be high, and with Dalvin Cook, they're gonna be explosive. And they have a new they have a new coach who's offensive minded. So they got it's your boy from Washington.
But if you're playing against Minnesota, meaning your backs and your wide receivers, are you scared? No, because they ain't playing a whole lot of defense either.
That's true. But but my point was the strength of schedule. NFC East is basically those are the teams that had the worst. I mean, who made the playoffs? And what was there? Philadelphia made the playoffs, right?
Philly and Dallas.
And Dallas. And what were their records?
Dallas is pretty. They were pretty strong last year. They were a double
12
digit.
and
Was
5.
12 and 5.
12 and
Philly
5.
was in Philly. I think skated in at 10 and 7.
Something like that. Okay. Well,
I
I mean, the easiest schedules. Boom. It's the NFC least. NFC least. So therefore, you can look at.
I don't think that's a divisional kind of thing. Let's take the whole conference into account. Philly would have never made an end if some of those other teams in the other divisions would have handled their business. We don't make the schedule, but we damn sure gonna play it.
Okay, Mo.
That is, you can play it, but when the teams in that division are not the best, then therefore that's why you look at it as being the easiest schedule. We're talking fantasy football. We're not talking about football. We're talking about fantasy football. So if those teams don't have great defenses, I'm going to pick the players that are playing against the NFC East.
Now I used to pick up every time.
And then and then you got to look at your schedule during the playoffs. So week 14, 15, 16, 17. Who are your players playing during that time of the year? Those are the players you want to make sure you have on your squad that are playing the easiest schedule. That's how you win.
Yeah, well, you got to, but you're talking about probably being in a redraft league where you can go out and chase players. In a fantasy league, if you don't have them, probably not going to be on the waiver wire at this point.
Yep, that's true. At
this point, I mean, because everybody's carrying 22 to 27 players on each team.
Right.
So, hey, man, this was fast.
31 minutes.
We are overtime. We are overtime.
Oh, so, that's because of Mo.
Mo, come up here and bring that heat.
Yes, she did. I had to be ready. I was like, oh, okay.
Shout out to my boy V Rob.
Some jabs at me. I was like, okay, all right.
My boy V Rob out there saying what's up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, but
no, it was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
Rob is a diehard Pittsburgh. Rob is a diehard Pittsburgh fan. I don't know what he's gonna do this year with Mitch Trubisky. He was named number one. He was named the number one guy yesterday. So.
And team captain. I found that interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Just a vote of confidence, something to boost up his confidence.
That's what? I watched Kenny Pickett in the in preseason. He didn't look bad.
No,
he didn't look bad at all.
Right.
Oh Lord. Okay, now he going full. He going full fan mode. Steelers all the way. All right. We'll see.
All the way where?
Well, if you
not with that offense.
You know what? I like George Pickens, the wide receiver from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
He a problem.
They're gonna need some time.
He a problem.
Get him the ball.
He a problem. He's a problem. So we're gonna find out. Well, next week when we get back in the seat, first week of the NFL will be under our belt. Monday night game be gone. Thursday night game, Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You got the Sunday night game, don't you, Mo? You got Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. The second year in a row, we got to play him week 1. Second year in a row.
You know what? I'm gonna give CJ some credit on this one. That's a high rate. First thing he would say, it's for the ratings. Everybody want to see us because it's the ratings. They want to see us.
It's the truth. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth.
Yeah, whatever. So look,
it is.
Y'all, you guys, you playing. I mean, Tom versus Dak in Jerry World. I'm gonna watch. I'll be there.
The key to that game will be being able to get pressure on Brady up the middle. So if I were the
That's
Cowboys,
always been the key. I agree.
Parsons should be blitzing straight up the middle. Straight up the middle.
If he can't catch a 45-year-old man slipping.
That's it. You can come from the side from time to time, but loop him around and have him shooting up the gaps up the middle, and Tom Brady's gonna be in trouble.
There's gonna be some problems.
Yeah, because that's where they lost all the offensive linemen in the middle.
Yeah,
it's the 2 guards in the center. That's where the injuries are. So they should. I mean, the defensive coordinator should be focused on that.
Well,
solely.
we're gonna have a lot to talk about next week. Hopefully, all of our teams do well. As long as you're not playing me, you're good.
Oh,
You're good.
looks like my opponent's not even gonna get his team
Oh,
legal.
he gonna get it right. I seen him. He was working on it. I was like, okay.
He deleted one person.
Yeah,
I'm playing him this week. I even offered him a trade. His team's looking so bad.
Oh,
He ain't got no running backs.
Carl Dukes, he calling you out, Carl.
He ain't got no running backs.
Calling you out. He calling you out.
He has no running backs, huh?
No, none.
Were you running shoot?
I think he has 3 running backs total, maybe 4.
Well, you only need 2. You only need 2.
I mean, he's got to play a whole season, man.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? This is the dynasty league, so you got 4 running backs, and the ones he got starting. Take a look at his team, Mo. We'll go overtime. I would like to get Mo's opinion right now because this is who I'm playing. So I'm like, you doing what? And the rich boys. Oh my goodness! Maybe I might be getting him confused with the rich boys. I think that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking I gotta get. Take a look at his line.
I can pull it up real quick.
Pull it up. Can you put it on the screen, E?
Yeah, I'll pull it up on the screen.
We'll go over. Now this is someone that really I think the Dynasty League caught them by surprise. when you look, because I've done some studying. So
no, Rich Boy's got Kamara. He's got Kamara, and he got Robinson from Jacksonville. He got Jones.
Come on now, Robinson. That's his number 2 back.
That's his number. Well, his number 1 back is Alvin Kamara,
and the other running back is Ronald Jones. Come on, E. Those are his 3 running backs.
He got Myles Gaskin. Ain't that your people?
Yeah, but he's number 4 or number 3 on the depth chart.
E3 on your depth chart?
Yes. Miles may not even touch the field that often.
So I'm trying.
But this was the problem that he had. If I'm looking at the right, yes, he drafted. He's got 4 defensive linemen, right? 2 defensive backs. This is on his bench. A linebacker, three tight ends. So he's got a total of 4 tight ends on his team.
I think he got caught on some auto picks a couple times because he was on the air. He was on the air too.
That was it. That's the problem.
He's a jock. He's a jock too.
And that was the problem.
Yeah.
So that's why I could see something went wrong here with his draft. So he's got so many. So he's gonna have to. He's got the barter. Trades.
He's got the barter.
He's gonna have to.
He's got the barter. But you know what? If the price is right, I'm willing to trade. If it's right, but it don't look right.
Yeah, he only has 1 running back on his bench.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. So he's only got 4, and 2 of his running backs, Ronald Jones, who's number 3 on the depth chart, and James Robinson. That ain't nothing.
He gonna
have problems.
He gonna be having some problems.
Yeah.
You better not let him beat you.
No, that's not Rich Boys. That's not who I'm playing.
Now you playing Carl.
It was one rookie receiver I wanted real bad, and somebody got him before me. I should have took him earlier.
Who's that?
You were reaching for him?
Yeah,
you didn't want to reach for him.
He played for your team, Drake London.
Okay. Oh yeah, he went early.
That's on Carl's team. That's his wide receiver because I wanted him.
Yep, he's got him as his wide receiver.
I wanted him. When he picked him, I was like, "Oh,
damn it!"
That's the guy that y'all need to watch out for this year. We see him in practice. The boy is good.
Mm-hmm.
He's good.
Right.
He's good. So yeah,
I have a question.
Talk to us.
If you had to pick one quarterback in the league to be a sleeper, that's really where everybody's just kind of done counted him out, but he might make some noise, who would you say it was?
I'd take Trevor Lawrence.
Damn.
Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. Because he's so under the radar right now, but his ceiling, his ceiling is like Manning, like Brady ceiling. I mean, the boy can throw that thing.
Right.
I watched him in Georgia. We watched him at Clemson because I'm in the South, so we watch Clemson. Mm-hmm. We see Clemson playing, and then he's from Georgia, so they made sure that they saw him. So yeah, that guy, he's the one. If he can get the right people behind him, he's a slinger. And
Right.
confident.
Yep.
Hmm.
I would say the same thing. And then because he's got Urban Meyer's out of there now,
Yeah.
so now
Thank
he's got an offensive minded coach that knows how to coach quarterbacks, and it is Jacksonville. So their defense is decent, but you can bet they're going to be trailing in quite a few games. So that means he's going to be forced to throw the ball quite often. So if you got a Christian Kirk.
Yeah,
and
he got his boy ETN. That's his boy.
And you're hitting him out of the backfield. And ATM to take one, take a pass, a screen pass, and boom, go 0 to 100 real quick.
And the cool thing about it is they've got chemistry because
Right.
they played at Clemson together for 3 years, so something of that nature. So yeah, I think he's the guy. Who you thinking, Mo?
You know what? I kind of have a lot of faith in Justin Fields from Chicago. But
I like Justin.
I have some faith in him.
I like Justin.
I see it for him.
He just needs a line.
Yeah.
He needs a line. He needs a line. It's gonna be rough for him this year.
Don't they all?
Yeah, outside of Mooney, I mean, who are the receivers? Who's the other receiver he has? And I'm hearing rumors that the David Montgomery is not working well with the offense, so they're changing some things there. So there's a lack of chemistry in the offense, so it may take them a few weeks to get the ball rolling, for him. And that's the only thing I think can really hold him back. But the advantage is that he'll be able to run and get the ball, and get you some fantasy football points.
Well, we don't have to wait long. Sunday.
That's true.
Sunday, so. We're gonna see where he is. So I'm excited about the league. I'm excited for it to start. Still hot. I'm waiting for it to cool out a little bit. It's gonna be hot at the games.
Well, think about me on Sunday at Hard Rock Stadium because they played 2 games out there this past weekend. The Canes played Bethune-Cookman, and then Jackson State played. I can't remember who they played and blew them away. Blew them away. And everyone that told me that was at that game told me it was burning hot. And that's why Bill Belichick has flown the New England Patriots down here today so they can practice in the heat. But it's not going to help them. It's not going to help them now when they have those dark jerseys on and when the third quarter hits. Woo! And see, my seats and the Dolphin seats are in the shade. The Patriots, they're gonna be, that heat is something else down here, man.
I'm fortunate enough that hopefully that they don't open up the roof. Now they may if they open up the roof, it's gonna be scorching.
You're gonna be sitting in the suite anyway, right, E?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Don't be faking like you worry.
You're right.
I'm in the stands, dog. I'm in the stands, if not on the field.
Okay, well, man, it was good to have you guys on. We're gonna shut it down in a sec. If you're checking us out on the replay, make sure you hit the like button if it's on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, hit the notification button and subscribe to the channel. It only helps us out. We get a chance to do this on a weekly basis, and we're gonna do this throughout the year and going in out of the football season, going into all of the college stuff. We're gonna talk fantasy football all the time. Matter of fact, did anybody watch the college teams and we're looking at the players and like, you know what, he coming out next year, I might have to draft him. There was some good players out there.
I'm just happy that my Trojans finally look like a doggone team. It's been the longest few years of my life watching this. It's horrible.
Hey, you like Drake London? We picked him up. That's your man.
Mm-hmm. No wonder she wanted him. That's right.
He played for the Trojans. He played for the Trojans. He played for the Trojans.
I think I want him.
Before we leave, Mo, what's your social media so people can hit you up or follow you?
My social media?
Mm-hmm.
It is yes. Well, I have my full name on Facebook, but on Instagram, it's Ms. Mohini. And then on no, I ain't gonna say TikTok. Yes. Yes, that's it, pretty much. I'm most active on Facebook, but Instagram a little bit more. TikTok, I just like going there to laugh. I've done one video, but other than that,
It's just
Okay.
No.
it's silliness on there.
Lo, what's your handles, man?
Well, my Twitter is on fire since I was on the radio today. So basically, follow me on Twitter at Lorenzo Thomas, on IG at Lorenzo Ice T, and that's ICETEA on Facebook, YouTube, and what are the other ones? Twitch. You could just go ahead and Google Lorenzo Ice T Thomas, and you'll find me without a doubt.
And you can catch me right there on the screen at Dirty South FFL on Twitter. Hit me up. And man, once again, thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with us. And for the folks that are out there in the digital land, we will see you next week.
Hey, Mo, pleasure to meet you. And your team does look good, girl. It looks good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Good luck to your team as well. I don't know about you, Atlanta, since you're in the same conference, but all right, good luck.
All right.